Okay, so we're live. Okay, Sonya, so how are you doing?
I'm doing really good.
How
I'm
have you
doing
been?
amazing. Huh?
How have you been?
I've been okay from last time I moved to Alabama to my sister's, and essentially for since Christmas, just really I came here, and my sister's been really wonderful because I just really needed a chance to process what happened to me and to get over. And I essentially spent the past however many months it's been just meditating and praying and being thankful and grateful. And I work full time now, and I moved to a really small town. There's only like 2,000 people here, and I really like it a lot. Like I'm in a really good place. Um, my boundaries are up,
So you're in
because I
Alabama.
had
So you're
yeah,
in Alabama?
I'm out. Yeah, and this is my home. It's my sister's home behind me right here.
Oh,
Is
nice.
my
It's a
home.
nice house.
And I
It's a nice
have
place.
my own room. What?
I said it
Do
looks like
what?
a nice place. It looks like a nice place.
Yeah,
You have a trampoline. You have a trampoline there. There's kids. It's a nice environment.
yeah, yeah. My whole family lives here. Like, well, my sister and her son and his three kids and his baby's mama live here. My sister and her girlfriend, yeah, and also her ex husband. It's very weird. Anyway, but
What?
anyway, I have a home.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, 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 wait. So the ex husband lives there too?
yeah, yeah. I've known, which
Okay.
like they were married for a long time. I've known him since I was like 19, and like I guess Alex was like messing up in school and stuff and he's 25 now, but he was messing up in school and stuff. So he moved in here, and he's been here for like 9 years. So
That is
I don't
interesting.
know. It's weird, but whatever. But then and now my sister has a girlfriend, but they've been together for like 9 years, and I love her, and she's awesome. So
So the last time that we spoke, you were in Texas?
man, I was in Louisiana. Remember? God, that was so there was a lot of stuff going on actually, but like it was really weird. Like now that like I'm not in fight or flight mode and suffering from PTSD so bad. Like honestly, I like suffered some type of spiritual death or something like that. Definitely like something like just. Basically, what ended up happening in Louisiana, which I was visiting my best friend since I've known since I was like 15, and I walked in to her house one day. This is when I ended up leaving, but my car broke down, and she was smoking fentanyl like on foil with her 16-year-old and 14-year-old daughter.
Wow.
I
Man, that is
literally flipped
crazy.
out, and I know I flipped out, and that's why I came to Alabama. So, yeah, I cling to God. Um, a lot of stuff happened that just things that I never could conceive of, and I guess I needed to know um, how basically to value myself is the biggest lesson, because my entire life I've not valued myself. But those who hurt me empowered me. I will never go back to Slab City, never ever. Um, I'm just like when I talked to you the last time, like I was not okay with the world. I was not able to. I was having a really hard time being back in the world, and now I'm not. So that's in and of itself is a huge feat. That was really difficult. So
Johnny Hash
yeah.
Brown, welcome to the chat, Johnny Hash Brown. If you have any questions
Hello.
or if you want to say
Hi.
anything,
Hi, Sonya.
Hello.
Well, I just got here. I don't really know what it's all about at the moment, but
You just got
yeah.
where
Well, I mean, I
on the
just got
chat?
to the chat. Yeah, so I
Okay.
don't know what we're talking
Okay.
about.
hey, Sonia, Robert Lowe wanted me to ask you something.
Okay.
Uh, did you think that you were missed? Did you think that when you were in Slab City, did you consider that a misdirection? Like, were you Did you think that you were in a misdirected cult or prisoner the whole time at the slabs? I don't know if I'm
Um,
a- asked that question
it
correctly. You want me to ask it again?
when I
Did you
was
understand? Okay,
uh,
go ahead. Sorry.
the initial allure was the freedom. I went there in 2015, and I only went for the winter season, and I actually like fell in love with somebody that ended up being profoundly like a person in my life that like we'll be friends till we die, like a person that helped me grow really, I so that like I had moments, I experienced moments of heaven there that were like pure heaven, and then I've experienced it, everything's really heightened there. So I fell in love with the freedom, and I also I felt like I could help people when I was there, and I helped a lot of people. It's just in the end, um, it wasn't Slab City that made me choose the wrong person to be in a relationship with. I just think that I mean, if you look at any relationship in Slab City, besides maybe Mojo and Brad, which like is really a rare case, which I don't even know the intimate details, but I don't want to shit on other people's good experiences. It's not, I mean, what happened, and for me, I'll never go back there. But it's almost like you're not relationships never work out there. They just never do. And there's like so many men to every woman. It's hard to be single and alone because then you're constantly being, prodded. Like men are constantly fighting for your attention and like trying to get one over on you. So it's like it's almost you just essentially end up screwed. It's like like either way, it's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
So the question was,
Anyway, I got away from the question. I
yeah,
smoked
yeah,
some pot before I got here. Anyway,
yeah.
I
So the
was like,
question
what?
was, yeah. So the question was, do you think that Slab City is a misdirected cult, or you were in a misdirected cult in Slab City?
I don't think I was in a cult, but see, I grew up in upper middle class Houston.
Okay.
And got pregnant in high school, so really I didn't veer real far from upper middle class life, which until I was 40 years old, and I ran away from home at 40 because my kids were grown. So I think that I was definitely an easy target because I'm naive as fuck, really, compared not now, but I'm
Hey,
learning now.
hey, can I
And
interject
so,
real?
yeah.
Sonya, can I interject real quick because you made a negative expression when you talked about you living in middle class
Upper
or
middle
more,
class
yeah.
America.
So why
Yeah,
do you think So why do you have that view of the middle class?
because it teaches you to worship money.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It teaches you to live inside a box, and people aren't genuine. And
But not everybody's genuine in Slab City.
no, they're not at all. They're not. I mean,
So not
I mean,
everybody worship.
the thing is that
But not.
like the whole thing is if I would have never left that box, and I mean I'm a better person than I was when I left, because now I know suffering, and I know I'm just a genuinely better person because I have a lot more empathy now than I did before.
Hmm.
Because I used to define success by, I was told like the more money, and the prettier you are, and really put like impossible standards on me growing up. And now I have it's like, I mean, it was kind of like an ego death, especially the
So
way I left.
can I ask something? So now, what do you think? What do you think is? What do you value now? Like you said that you before you're getting away from that mentality of valuing money and stuff. So what are the values that you maybe found in Slab City?
Um, I underwent some, I mean, the experiences that, I mean, I would be more willing to talk about it, not like on TV, but
Mm.
or or on anything, but essentially, probably because I took a lot of LSD. I don't know, but I went through something that I did not know existed. Like I was um definitely believed in God and stuff before, but I literally like underwent some type of death, like some type of spiritual death, and people did things to me that I did not know. I didn't believe in magic before I went to Slab City, and now I do. I didn't
Really?
know. I did not know that. And in the way I perceived the world, as far as like, I definitely did not believe in magic, and in my head, like if it did exist, it would definitely require me to believe in it and give it energy and definitely consent, and none of those are true.
Mm.
And
So you
so
so, so you can attest that you've been through some sort of magical experience or some sort of spell to, of sorts.
something that's no longer there, because I now the whole thing is the beautiful thing is that I was the one that had the power the whole time, and that's why it was seeking me. But I did not know that, so that now that I know that, the beautiful the positive side of learning that that type of darkness does exist, has the ends believing. The beautiful side of that is realizing that then the other side exists, because one can't exist without the other.
Okay.
So it's just I feel everything around me. Um, the night I left Slab City, I lost consciousness several times, and I asked people to call 911, and they would not. And I'm not going to name any names. And I did not leave Slab City on my own. I got left for dead in Palm Springs, and my 30-year-old son drove to California to pick me up. And I was left with my dog with no human dignity, no shoes, a ruptured eardrum. I was very sick, and I left on very violent terms. And I ended up filing police charges against someone that did that to me. So it wasn't like a smooth exit, It was really
Wow.
bad.
And
So,
when you say that you were left for dead, like did they leave you
well,
somewhere? Were you laying somewhere? Or?
no. Um, I didn't want this on. I really didn't want
No,
this
no.
on.
I mean, you don't have to answer that. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just kind of curious,
Um, I was okay. So I was supposed to be taken to the emergency room.
Okay.
I had pneumonia because the person that I was in an abusive relationship with for a year, he ruptured my eardrum one morning, and then he was threatened to leave Slab City. He left for like 2 weeks, and then he came back in the middle of the night. Within that 2 weeks that he was gone, I got robbed, because everyone was like, "Oh, she can't hear." I literally couldn't hear anything, and then I ended up with pneumonia, and I was running a fever, and it was really hot outside. It was 120 degrees at least. It was August 14th, 2022, the day I left.
Mm.
And I needed to go to the emergency room. He shows up in the middle of the night, even though he wasn't supposed to be coming back. And then I ended up asking him to take me to the emergency room, because I didn't have a ride to the emergency room. And he ended up driving me all around for like 3 days. He wouldn't let me even stick a finger out of the car. He was hitting me. He told me I was a demon. It was very scary. And I ended up telling him that my family is wealthy, and that I'm not a throwaway, and that he needed to either kill me and put me in the dumpster or whatever he's going to do, because like he was torturing me. And I ended up scaring him enough, because my family would have come looking to find out what happened to me. And he ended up dropping me off like at the Motel 6 in Palm Springs. And then I went and told the manager that I needed help and what happened. And he called the cops, and I filed charges, and I went to the emergency room, and they confirmed that I had a ruptured eardrum and I had pneumonia. And I filed charges on him, and I stayed at the homeless shelter until my son got there to pick me up. And it took like 4 days. And the cop that came, I almost wouldn't go to the emergency room because I had my dog, and I was like, I'm not. That's all I have is Clyde. And the cop promised me I'd get my dog back, and he paid for his him being in the shelter, and they chipped him and gave him his shots and everything. And when I went and picked him up, when my son drove me to the shelter, it was a zero balance, and I got my dog. And then I could have gone back to Slab City. I could have gotten a ride back there, but I know the person wouldn't have left me alone. He's there. He's been there the whole year. So it was kind of like one of those things where like I felt like if I went back, I was going to die, and I'm pretty sure I was. And so I went to Texas at first, and I ended up here with my sister. So, it was
Wow.
definitely.
So that's like almost like a very spiritual. Well, I mean, I'm sure it was very stressful and everything, but like you said, yeah. Go ahead.
It was scary because nobody understood. Like, I've never been attracted to abusers, and so I didn't know the red flags when the relationship started. But before him, and Carlos knows all about the one before him. The one before him never hit me, but he I think that I was vulnerable spiritually because of what my relationship with Lewis, which Carlos knows all about. Because I've told Carl, and I'm not talking about that on here, but anyway,
All right.
but I'm learning, I'm learning. I just I've never been in a place that I had to put up my boundaries that have to be so, oh, you're on my boundaries. Cause where I grew up, people aren't all up in your fucking boundaries like that. Sorry for cursing on your show. I can't help it. I cuss a lot. So anyway, so I'm
So
definitely, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
How would you define Babylon?
I'm not in Babylon. I don't think.
But how would you define it?
Babylon is like the world, like the Matrix. It's the same thing.
The Matrix.
The Matrix, like the rat race, the world. That's Babylon.
You don't think that's
the Slab City. Okay, so I like where I'm at because obviously this house wasn't free, and but I have just found a place where I feel comfortable, where it's it's a small town, nobody knows me, so they don't talk to me, and then I just go to work.
Beautiful where you are. Where
it
are
is.
you?
It is. I'm in Alabama.
Oh wow.
I'm in Hampton. Yeah, I'm trying to see how I can turn the phone around. But there's a lot of trees, and it's quiet. I'm sure there are drugs here, but if there are, I definitely don't see tweakers walking around everywhere. You know what I mean? So yeah. I like it. And I'm not gonna say where I work, but I work at a restaurant. I cook at a restaurant, and I really like it. I like work.
Cool.
And I bought an electric bike, and people think I'm weird here. People are really if you didn't see cell phones, you'd be like, what year is it? It's really kind of really slow.
Yeah. Very low pace.
Yeah. Not a lot of like-minded people, but that's fine. I'm really, really, I don't really know where I'm going from here with myself, but I'm really just living in the now, and I'm really content, and I'm really happy by myself. I'm healing, and I'm working, and I bought a new mattress too.
Yay.
So
that's good.
I haven't spent money on my comfort in so long, but
any better?
Oh, I sleep. That's all I do is work and sleep, because I sleep good. I sleep good because I work my butt off, and I come home and take a shower, and then I lay down, and that's it. I'm gone. I didn't wake up till 1 today, but I worked till 11, 12. And 11, 12 on the weekends because we close it late on the weekends, and then those people have jet skis. I'm I want I'm oh, but I'm gonna save. I'm saving for an RV, and I think I want to buy a piece of land somewhere so like I can park my RV there. I want something that's like mine that no one can throw me out of, but I don't want like a house because that's like, oh yeah, a cage, But I'm gonna get an RV or something. I mean, that's as far as I can plan. But no, I'm doing really good, and but I'm really very weary about people because like that last one really scared the shit out of me. Like I didn't know if I was gonna be okay. I really didn't know. Even the last time I talked to you, I was like, am I even gonna be okay? Because I mean,
You were in Alabama, right? You said no. Wait, you were in
yeah,
Louisiana. You were in Louisiana.
I was in Louisiana, and then my car broke down, and my mama came. My mama came and
Hmm.
picked me up in Louisiana. She lives in Texas. My mama came, picked me up, and drove me here.
So do you
So
think? So do you think that working is kind of therapeutic?
yeah,
Because you're saying that you go to work and then you come out really tired and you go to sleep. I mean, it
hmm work's
sounds like
been
that.
extremely valuable in my healing process. Work has been definitely healthy. I like work a lot. I'm tired as hell right now, but today was my first day off in like 5 days.
Wow.
Nice.
And then I work tomorrow, and then I'm off Tuesday. So
I find that kind of interesting because you don't like Babylon.
I don't like Babylon, but it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I don't want to be a slave to money.
Okay. So do you think that you could have a good career and I mean have things
I did. I
without
did
being
have
a
a career.
slave? But
Yes,
without being a slave,
if you
but without being a
enjoy
slave to it.
if you enjoy what you do and you love what you're doing, it does not matter if you're in Babylon or not.
Right.
Nice. That actually, because right now, I used to make a lot of
I mean, if
money.
you're miserable, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right, right,
Could
right.
Shit.
Exactly.
because you could be miserable being broke or miserable having a lot of money.
A
I
lot of
think,
money.
I can
Exactly.
be
but
really happy about money too. I can be really happy about money, and I can be really happy. I can be really comfortable with money. Like
so
yeah,
it, it
But
sounds
it's
like
what you invest your time in, I guess, right? If you
it's
like what you
right,
do,
right. Like
it sounds like a personal issue because I mean it's all about what kind of attitude you have towards
as it turns
food.
out, I manifested all of it to begin with. I mean, my own
really.
reality, all of the darkness, all of the everything that happened was all because I allowed it. You can only like if I valued myself, then I wouldn't have been putting up with the shit that I was putting up with from the very beginning. Obvious, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it only happened because I allowed it.
Hey, you
I
were gonna
mean,
say
like I thought it was romantic to wear a collar because I had this like naive, really
wow,
like
that's
over
interesting.
sensationalized idea of like I'm a hopeless romantic, and he played on that, and I thought it was cute and romantic that oh my god he wants me to belong to him, uh you know what I mean, and then I do it and like his because I couldn't conceive of it being something completely not innocent. So you live you learn,
Yeah.
but I thought it was romantic that like oh god I'm gonna put this collar on and he's gonna be like oh she's so you know so yeah
I
I
could see
allowed
how
that.
that I could see how
I
that
asked
could be
for that.
attractive.
Do what?
I could see how that could be attractive.
Yeah, it was cute till it wasn't. You know, it was really, like, and I rock that shit. I was making collars for every outfit and shit. Like it's ridiculous. But like, his intentions weren't pure like mine.
Hmm.
So I mean, he actually took it that way, like where it's like, oh, you're below me. You know.
Oh, I
So
see. So it
yeah, it was
started
an
off
abuse
as a
thing.
game, It started
Starts
off as
off
a
real
game.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they find someone with daddy issues, which poster child for them. And then, play on that. So, like, I'm glad I went through it. Now I get it. Now I understand,
Hmm.
and now I know not to, let someone do that to me. Lord. Okay. Looks like you're on a good path. Who is this?
That's
I
Robert
thought you
Lowe.
told me this is Rob Lowe. Yeah, I'm on a really good path, and I'm all about me. Like, it's all about me. I'm not even playing. Like, I don't. I'm literally like, it's just about me. you know. Right now, that's what it is. And somebody really gonna have to prove some shit to even get me to even consider sharing my space and energy with them.
Hmm.
I think that uh, the concept that the rain because this whole idea of Babylon comes from the rainbow people, right? From Woodstock and whatever.
So
So
okay, so you've got people that are like off-grid people, right? Some people
right,
who just like want to be away from the world and self-sufficient, and then the rainbow is essentially
I think that's where Babylon, the whole idea of Babylon comes from,
yes,
which is which stems back to the hippie movement. So
you're right.
what I believe, and I think this is the reality of things, is that the whole idea of Babylon, it's a matter of our heart. Like, we could say that we live in Slab City, but we're Babylonians inside, because you know the way that the world operates, people operate like that, with jealousy, envy, you know talking smack about others. That's the way that's supposedly what they hate, greed. You could be broke and be greedy. So I think that the whole
Well, yeah,
concept
for
the
sure.
whole the whole concept of Babylon, it's like, it's not that you live out here in society, but it's that it's like inside of you.
Well, it's not like we're really given a choice. That I mean, like like I didn't even know Slab City existed until like I went there. Like went to the beach from Texas, like got in my car and drove away from my life to like seek, whatever. But I found Rainbow before I found Slap City.
Mm.
And honestly, I think that you got good and bad people everywhere. Everyone, it really, in the grand scheme of it all, everyone's just trying to make it and try to figure it out. I don't
Hmm.
think that, you know,
But there's
it's
people.
the
But
thing
there.
is like God did give us a home. Like God gave us earth as a home. So like really, and this is where my thing comes in, right? Because like I think as a human race, we're doing it wrong. I don't really think that we were supposed to build all these buildings and fucking trash the earth that was given to us. So like that's where the Babylon anti-Babylon thing comes in me, because honestly I should be able to, like, I'm more of a tribalist. Like I think we should live in tribes and we should have a wise man and the village should, and then as a group we should find, figure out what do we do with the child molester and like within our tribe and be able to walk, like roam the earth, So like that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like I should be able to go lay on grass and a cop not come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're sleeping outside." Like, no, I'm not homeless because God gave me a home when I was like, that's where my thing is like we're doing it wrong as a human race as a whole.
So
We're
do you
doing it
think?
wrong.
So do you think
We did.
Slap City? So you think Slap City is doing it right?
No, hell no, no. So the thing is like, um, yes, I believe there's a cult in Slab City. Um, I can say as a female, if you're a female in Slab City, automatically because you're a female, and and it don't even matter if you're attractive, like some of those girls, they like actually think that it's a compliment because they want to pass you around. That's not a compliment. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter. You're not special. Like like they pass those females around, a lot of them. I do believe there's a cult there. I'm not going to even I'm not publicly giving certain details, but you see a lot more when you're a female out there. And I'm not talking about a snowbird female. I'm talking about a female that's there all year round, because it is a different ball game whenever all of the snowbirds leave. It's not like people will be like, I'm a snowbird. No, there's that culture, but there's a subculture there. There's it's like Dreamcatcher will say, it's layered like onions.
Mm.
As a female, you will get offered AC, comfort, all kind of comforts. You know, men will try to lure you and try to do all kinds of shit to you. And I can tell you there's definitely something going on there. And also, um, if anybody knows, I'm sure you've heard Caroline's missing, right?
No, I don't
Carlos?
know. No, I don't know who that is. Who is that?
No, it's Snow. She's been missing for
Oh,
like 9 weeks.
no. I've heard about her, but I never met
With
her.
his girlfriend, the one right after me, Snow, is missing.
Okay, I never got the chance to meet her.
Oh, yeah. So like, if anybody
Wow.
knows where, I know that her parents like came there and visited her, um, like every now and again, because they would like pay for her cell phone and stuff like that. But I'm worried about her.
Oh, wait a
I'm,
minute.
but
I might have met her, but I would have to see a picture or something.
yeah, she's like, she was like, had the short blondish hair.
I,
Anyway,
if she lived with Lewis, then I might have met her recently
she lived with Lewis.
in
She
2022.
definitely she lived with Lewis like 2 weeks after I left his camp.
Okay.
Anyway, and they
Wow.
were on and off throughout.
So she's been missing for a few weeks now.
She's been missing for like 8 weeks, and it's been on the Slab City pages.
Okay.
It's been on the Slab City pages, but yeah.
I haven't been keeping up with the Slab City pages, but man, well, hopefully she's okay. Does anybody
Yeah,
know anything about it?
What have you been doing?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh, me. I just been looking for them. I've been looking
you've
for
been.
a job. I've been looking for the job. I've been looking for a job for the past 2 months. That's
Oh,
what I've been doing.
okay. There's a lot of jobs here.
Well,
There's
that's what my brother tells me about Texas. He wants me to go to Texas.
there's a lot of jobs in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might. I mean, I might make the move. I don't know. Depends on
I
how
think.
things are.
Where does he live at in Texas?
I don't want to say it here.
Oh, okay.
With all
Well,
these weirdos. Maybe
you know.
you'll get like I don't know. Maybe somebody will go to Texas and stalk him. I mean, that's how crazy these people are.
I know. I only talk about even certain things because I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm still like, as far as like the whole like cult thing, like there's something there, dude. Have you been to Slab City? Your friend?
Yeah.
Have you been?
Yeah,
Actually,
I've gone 3 times actually.
There's something there, huh?
Well, it's very interesting. Yeah, you hear a lot of stories. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So.
Hey, Sonya. So I've heard things about the dark web in Slab City. Do you know anything about that?
I mean, I know about the dark web, but as far as like in Slab City, what did you hear? I'm gonna go get a cigarette.
I don't want to mention the things that I heard. I mean, it was just crazy.
Like,
things.
have you? Okay, okay. Well, I've heard. Well, I have a lot of theories, but like, I don't want to speak on them.
Yeah, that's understandable.
You know what I mean?
That's understandable.
I mean, I don't want to speak on all of it, but there's definitely like, definitely, definitely
Some
something there.
something going on.
But like I told you that I had like packed my car like 3 different times because I was going to go back. Like it was hard for me. Like life kept putting me in situations where, plus the PTSD, I felt like really dissociated from everything. So like that place felt familiar. So like I almost ran back there, and then I was like, I just kept fighting. I kept praying. I kept meditating, praying and praying and praying, and just holding on. And then I was just okay, you know. And it's really like I don't have any anger. I, what I'm really practicing right now is almost being completely removed from my, like, not reacting on emotion on any level, and just almost sitting back as an observer of my emotions. Whether it be like a negative emotion, or and try not to be controlled by, driven by my emotions. And I think that's the biggest difference.
So I interviewed somebody from Massachusetts. They were I saw them in Calipatria, and I went up to them, and sure enough, they were from Slab City. It was one individual, right? This guy mentioned that, well, he was from Massachusetts, and he left his family, he left everything. He was married, he left kids, wife, everything, to go to Slab City. And he was telling me that he was Christian, but he became a shaman. And then he also told me that he would do like rituals out in the woods, and that some of those rituals that he would do, he was not able to tell me because they were illegal.
Okay.
Did anything like that happen when you were there? Like anybody doing rituals besides your
Um,
ex? I mean, besides your ex, one of your exes. Besides,
um, well, if you're talking about a shaman, in my
yeah.
head, I mean, like, no, I've never voluntarily or like sat around a ritual. No. I would definitely though, but I'm definitely like considering going to Mexico to do an ayahuasca ceremony, basically for spiritual growth. But I don't call that I wouldn't call that a ritual. Like I mean, a spirit, my own, maybe my own, like deep, like seeking deeper meaning, or, deeper, just seeking truth, seeking spiritual guidance, seeking, whatever which is my own spiritual path. But I wouldn't call that a ritual. I
No,
mean,
no,
really.
this guy told me that he would actually do rituals, and
Um, okay, like what kind of rituals?
I would have to I would have to
Anything,
look back. I would have to look back at the videos, but he just mentioned rituals and like some demon activity.
some
He
demon
men-
activity?
yeah, that's what he mentioned. I mean, I would have to go back and listen to the conversation again.
And you were saying
But
it's Slab City?
yeah,
That
he left Massachusetts. He was Christian. He left Massachusetts. He left his wife. He left his kid. He left all his family over there to become a shaman, and I guess he was in Slab City just for the season. I mean, I don't know if he's still there, but
okay.
yeah,
Um,
that was an interesting situation. I mean, I'm pretty sure that not everybody is like that goes to Slab City.
hey, will you do me a favor and bring me a cigarette, please? I'll love you forever. Thank you.
I think drugs has a lot to do with why Slab City has a cult. Crystal meth is very prevalent there, plus other
Uh,
theft.
yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, okay, so crystal meth makes you stay awake, right?
Right.
Right.
So, but let's say that I'm just like, I'm gonna see how long I can stay awake, and not even take any meth, right? If you stay up long enough, you're gonna
You'll-
start seeing and hearing shit that ain't there.
Yes. It's
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
so like here you are walking in the sun, with not enough water to be walking in the sun, on drugs. You've been up for days on end, barely eat. Um, and yeah, you're gonna hear and see some shit. Like the people were saying the first summer I was out there, the big word was bushwhackers. They would say people are bushwhacking, like stay in a bush watching you, and people kept telling me like people are watching you, and I'm like, why the fuck would somebody be watching me? Like why? Like and what it
They
is
want
like
they they were watching too much WWF with the
like
Bushwhackers.
I mean, yeah, well, the whole thing is like, what am I doing that's so interesting? I mean, it's a little narcissistic if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, and like, and some people think that there's a big scheme to kill them. Like one of my friends is like, since I've been living here, these people have been following me. I'm like, you're sure think that there's a whole team of people that have nothing fucking better to do? They're gonna kill you, be dead already. Then watch you and report back that you're tearing electronics apart, the perfectly good working ones in the desert on meth. But they're gonna
Yeah.
watch you. Yeah. So yeah, not that people don't stalk you or watch you there. You
Yeah.
know.
So
Right,
Robert,
right,
what
right. But the drugs definitely don't help, and the lack of sleep definitely doesn't help either. I heard that what people do is they normally sleep during the day, and since it's a little like slightly cooler at night, they'll
I slept.
they have kind of a nocturnal life going on during the summer. That's what I heard.
Um, the heat didn't mess with my sanity, but I also I learned a lot of skills living there. I learned how to solder. I didn't even know that was a thing, really. And I learned how to put I hooked up my solar thing, even though he who shall not be named spoken helped me put it together. But like I had 4 fans and I was very like I was always figuring out a way to get cool. I know my camp, but I had like 4 layers of shade cloth that looked like a bird sanctuary. So I stayed cool. Like I found a way, but it didn't mess with my sanity like that, And at night it would just, you just I'd sleep outside because it would take so long for the inside of my trailer to cool down. It would just take too long. I mean, it's hot. It'd be like at night would be like right when the sun goes down, it'd be really, really hot because heat's just like radiating off of everything. Like everything's just been heating up all day. But yeah, if you just basically evaporative cooling works pretty good. And what did Rob say? Why would I go live there? I don't know. I like barely surviving something.
Yeah, he says, why would you even go
Dude,
live there when you have so much where you are, especially summertime? I'm fighting dehydration and I have air, but I'm almost 70. I've died there within hours.
um, I can tell you, my first summer there, I loved it. Like it was like my childhood playground, dude. It was fun. Like climbing and playing outside and not having to pay for it.
Mr. Crichton says, so nobody's saying anything about Lewis. Are we talking about the same guy? The guy singing something in the way, slabbers in the night at the range, or someone else?
Yeah, it's him. What do you want? I mean, what do you want to? I don't. I mean, I didn't come on here to talk about him, but he's my ex. Other than that, like
I mean, maybe
someone's
it's a
driving
good.
me dry. I don't know who it is.
Maybe it's a good idea not to talk about him.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not here to,
He was a few weeks ago. He was going off on me through the comments, like accusing me of taking advantage of slabbers and stuff like that. Like he was just going crazy. So I don't want
That's,
him on my. I don't
I
want
think
him
that
on my. I
calling
don't
the
want him.
kettle.
Was that? Was that?
It's just funny that just the way he projects. It's hilarious.
Let's see here. I thought I would find some
I mean,
sort.
I'm not afraid of him. I'm just like not, like here to trash it. I don't. I wish him all the best. Why? I mean, I don't get anything out of. I just don't have any hate in me anymore. Like it's just gone. Like just
So
not doing.
you feel more at peace with yourself then?
I do. I am absolutely at peace myself, and love the people that are around me, and good to everyone around me.
That's
And above
awesome.
that, that's the only thing. And I wake up every morning and I'm grateful. Gratefulness is absolutely necessary in to find contentment and happiness.
I agree.
And being content is the best. Happiness is easy because like I'm gonna be happy either way. But like contentment is definitely an achievement. Contentment is peace, and I
Mm,
have that. I'm not giving it up for anything, you know.
nice.
So it's beautiful. I love it. It took a lot to get here, and
That's
I just try to be a better person from all of it, and not be like they were. This there's a stranger that just got out of a car in my driveway. I'm sure somebody that lives here knows them. Anyway, so yeah, I'm good. And as far as like being sober, I drink probably a couple bottles of wine a week, and I smoke weed pretty much all day every day. That keeps me really calm, and I just live, and I like
That's
it.
good to hear.
Everything's good.
That's great.
Did you ever, hey Sonia? Did you ever train hop?
No, too old for that. I'm 47. I'm not train hopping. I considered it, but like a lot of things can happen to a female alone on a train. Like that's just as risky as the Slab City. Like, except you could lose a limb. It's dangerous
Yeah. So let me
and
ask you something
illegal.
about. Okay, let me ask you something about women in Slab City. Is there a lot of assaults going on in Slab City that are not reported, like like
A lot of
sexual
women.
assault? A lot of
Yeah.
sexual assault that are not reported.
hmm Um, most of the females that like, and I have so much love for the females there. I really do. The thing is, a lot of them are broken, and I'm actually really lucky, and I'm very thankful that I had somewhere safe to go because they don't. A lot of them don't, and they don't even know what they're in because like I wasn't even in as far as they're in. A lot of those girls, a lot of those females, um, they they belong to someone now, and like they don't really they don't have an out. That's what I'll say. But there's not
What do
healthy
you?
relationship. Tell
What
me
do
a
you?
healthy relationship you see
What do you
there.
mean
That's
that? What do you mean that they belong to somebody now?
like they get certain privileges for you know like I could have had a lot more comforts had I been willing. Like I could have had Steve killed. I could have um, I could have taken certain protections that I did not take, which left me at risk because I did not. I wasn't willing to go to pay the price for that protection. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, and the reason I don't say it's anything because it's like it's not even it's above my boyfriends. It's not. It's the ring of drugs and the what goes on out there, and it's I believe um, that the cults thing. I believe that you have to murder someone to get in there, and that I'm not the only one that thinks that. Like
Wow.
Me and a couple people that I won't dare because they're still there. They're slabbers. Have sat and discussed like what's like the dynamics of the what goes on there behind the scenes, and we concluded one night that it's definitely you got to murder somebody. You got to murder somebody to get to be a like in like protected. A lot of evildoers there are they're protected. Like really,
Amy
what
Amy says sounds like human trafficking.
that I've been trafficking?
No, no, not that you have. It's just that what's going on there.
I don't think. Well, okay. When it comes to like child trafficking, I have considered that just because of the protection that Mike Dibble got. But that's a
Mm.
whole other story, like that's a whole other story other than the females that, and what's going on there. It's not necessarily trafficking. I mean, there's just, if you're a female and you go out there and, you're going to be, pursued in
Right.
certain ways,
You're
and
vulnerable.
you're
You're
very
vulnerable.
vulnerable. And,
It's
and,
like,
uh,
and I
go
mean, I don't
ahead.
want to. I mean, I don't want to put it this way, but this is exactly the way it is. It's like you throw a piece of meat out to a bunch of dogs, they're gonna go crazy. That's the way that it is.
I'm sorry. I was reading that comment. I didn't hear you. What?
It's like when a woman goes out there, the same thing as if somebody throws a piece of meat out to a bunch of hungry dogs.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just gonna
bad.
that's the way that it is.
Yeah. Um, and really like, um, it's not, I mean, I never even dated a part of the, group that I'm even like thinking, that group, like the group that I'm talking about, like the cult group. I didn't never dated anyone in there. So like, I was always kind of like, I was, I was a female there. So I was definitely being pursued, but like, because I had those boyfriends, they're just kind of like, like I don't have, it's either you're part of that or you have that. And if you want them to like save you from, because I ended up being, instead of being abused by, some group of people that I, you know, wanted their protection and their AC and their food and their drugs, I ended up choosing the wrong person and being abused by that person, And then so I did on several occasions, um, like Amber went and told somebody that Steve had been hitting me, and they came to me and offered to get rid of him for me. But like, do you think that would have came at a just out of courtesy, And plus, that like I have to live with what I do. So there was definitely that going on, and the same thing. When I left Lewis, the thing is Lewis left me alone. So why would I have, why would I have sent someone after him? But like, you know, anyway, I don't want to talk about that. So the
Hey,
thing about, okay, I don't even know what this person is talking about. Go ahead.
Johnny, do you have anything to say?
No, I mean, I'm just kind of listening. It all kind of sounds interesting to me, and it kind of inspires my imagination, but I'm just spectating at the moment. I have nothing to add.
Yeah. Um, People go to Slab City for a lot of different reasons. Some people go there to die. Some people go there to hide. Some people go there like it inspired me, and for I'll never regret my experience. I've learned so much there, and uh, there were moments of pure joy there. Like for me because of the freedom. Like I raised my two dogs there, and like I was able to really find myself, you know. So I got pregnant in high school. So like that's the place that I found myself. Because like you're put when you just like strip away everything and you have minimal and everything's a struggle, like that's a really like it's a really good way to you'll learn your nature. You'll figure yourself out.
Yeah, you self-reflect at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're either gonna make it or you're not. So I'm definitely tough. I'm by any like I'm so tough.
How
People
long were
complain
how long were you there for, if you don't mind me asking?
for 5 summers.
5 consecutive summers?
Um I yeah, because
Wow.
I left. So 2017 was my first summer there, and then I left in 2019 for 10 months, and then went right back and spent the summer there. So it I left in the summer in August in 2019, and I was back there by June. So I did 5 summers there, but consecutive, and then I had 10 months. I came to Alabama to be, and then COVID hit, and then Lewis like sweet talked me into going back there because he said he, loved me and all this shit. So I jumped on it and went back and, whatever. So then it was 3 more after that. So yeah, 5 summers.
Wow, that's actually that's a long time, because they say that you're a true slabber after a year. So you did 5 of those, huh?
Yeah, they say you have to do 2 summers, but
Oh, that's right, 2 summers. That's right.
two
That's right.
summers to be a slabber was what I was told. Um, but there was a certain point like before it got dark, because it takes a minute to figure it out. Like you're going to be there a minute before you realize like, okay, like just being an observer, like being a female and then being an observer because you end up knowing everybody because it's not that big of a community. So just observing the banter between people and then observing uh th- just the dynamics of relationships between people like higher, because it's only 150 people, I think
Yeah, in
that
the
are
summer.
actually, yeah. So you learn how the culture really is, and you figure everything out just observing. You can just watch. You don't even have to say anything. You'll figure it out. It's weird, and
There's
I have a lot of
definitely
haters. I have a
there's
lot of
definitely a
haters.
good learning curve there, then, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I accidentally found it. I never even knew the place existed. It wasn't like something I sought out. It just kind of happened. I don't regret it. I don't regret anything in my life. My family is like finally realizing because my family is just like she lost it. Like really, literally, like thought I lost my shit. You know, but my sister, even though she didn't understand it, she allowed me. I just to process it. I just really needed to be left alone to process it. Everything, how I left and everything was not okay. So I had to figure out like myself and what I did to cause it and really look in the mirror like hard. And I did. So I'm here now and it's good. And I wish everyone there, like there's still, like I love Cause. I love Dreamcatcher. Like I'm still friends with people there and I get, I care about the people that I care about there and I love them. And not everybody has a way out, like I did. It's like because once you get out there, now you're back in the Matrix and Babylon, whatever you want to call it, and now you got to figure out how to survive with money again, and you have to like figure everything out again, and it's not easy, and it is, like the world's not really at the end of the day, like the world, there's a lot going on. Like I left the world because actually left the world in 2015. So like for 7 years, I really wasn't in the world at all. And
Mm.
since, I don't know, because a lot of people like told me, well, now that you're woke, and that's why it seems worse to you, because now that you're woke, you see it, because like I wasn't woke before. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are commenting that didn't do what I did, which is like just exit my life and then come back into and a lot of people see like the veil is thinning, and there's like a huge like um paradigm shift going on as far as like the earth. It's much bigger than me. I'm just here. I believe we're all the same. So I'm you and
Well,
you're me anyway.
you have
But
definitely more strength and endurance than I do, because I try to live there on 3 occasions, and I can only withstand about 1 month every time I went. So a cumulative 3 months at the max that I've spent there, and you spent 5 years there. So um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah. It served its, it served its purpose. It just had an allure. It had a hold on me.
Mm.
I actually never wanted to come back to the world. So really, the people who turned on me and broke me, tried to break me, really just empowered me. And
Hmm.
I'm just thankful that I got out. And I was really relieved when I finally was just okay and started having more good days than bad. And essentially just found a place that I can be okay. Because like shit is like, people are really. I feel like everyone's cynical, and I feel like um, there's just a huge. People are so detached. People have really fragile realities, and I'm really just glad that my sister's responsible and owns a home, and I can live here. And I can live here and not have to worry about anything, and I'm really grateful for that.
Right.
And but that I don't know. I don't really have anything plans for my future, except for just working and saving until I get money for land and RV for now.
But
Yeah,
That's
what
all.
about
Exciting.
you seem really mentally like stable and emotionally stable. It almost seems like the experience that you went through in the slabs was some sort of metamorphosis, almost like a butterfly cocoon situation where you gained some sort of spiritual wings in the process.
Definitely, I definitely did. Um, I I've read something because I've obviously started because like I said, I didn't believe in this shit, but like seeing's believing. So I started just studying, like trying to like put putting a description or a name on something, on the things that I went through, really helped, because it was like, okay, that's what, but they call it like the dark night of the soul. I read about that, and about spirit, all kinds of spiritual death. Like I'm definitely not alone. It's not, I wasn't sought out, and none of that. People talk about shadow work too, and I think like to some degree, I didn't believe. When I watched The Secret when I was like 30 something, when that movie came out, I was like, that is a cock of man. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. And then, you know, as it turns out, like it's not.
Hmm.
Um, I think that we definitely attract what we get. You just, if you don't believe you are, um, and then when you realize you are, and you look back, you're like, oh wow, I did that to some degree.
Wow. Yeah, it's like an
So
accomplishment. Yeah.
it's like, because of that darkness exists, I cling to God and light. And my perception of God isn't like, a person that's like looking down on me, wanting, me to submit or go to hell. It's not like that for me. So, it's a very personal thing. I don't really claim a religion, but like there's definitely um, anything born of fear, and it's a lie. I know that, and I don't subscribe to fear on any level anymore. I think that probably uh, because I definitely suffer from not having a dad, and have always been one of those females that just wanted someone to love her. Those people played on that, and because of that is why, because of that need for acceptance and being loved is why I was vulnerable to that, and I've shed that. And so thank you for empowering me to do that, because now it's just not there anymore. It's just not. And it was really lonely for a minute. Like I was so lonely, and then I just had to sit there and feel all of that until I didn't anymore. And it was not fun because nobody understood. Nobody could tell me what to do. Nobody could tell me how to get through it. And I kept reaching out, like trying to figure out what to do. Like, how do I get over this? And what is it that happened? And because I was alone through when it was happening, nobody knew or could tell me. And most people, like, especially my family, who's really closed-minded, uh, they didn't believe, like, I didn't even believe some of the shit that happened. Is still like really hard to talk about because it doesn't sound like I'm a sane person when I go into, I've told you some of the stuff, Carlos, but I haven't, there's things I didn't tell you about, like I didn't tell you about when I left Slab City, how I exited. But it doesn't matter. It was dark as fuck. I know that. It was extremely terrifying, so terrifying that I kept losing consciousness because I couldn't wrap my head around what was happening. Like my reality was trying to like detach from my it. It was like
Were you in shock?
I was definitely in shock the night I left there, and like nobody. I was more in shock because people that I've known for like years, I was begging them to call an ambulance, and they were ignoring me, and they were talking to the person that that was causing my boyfriend, who we actually weren't even together. He was he was the one that ended up supposed to be driving me to the hospital, but after I got in the car, it got really bad. And anyway, people wouldn't help me, and that was what was really fucking crazy, is that I couldn't stay away. Like I couldn't stay conscious. I thought I was going to die. I really thought I was going to die. And when you think you're about to die, you start apologizing. Like I was like, my mother and my children did not deserve this. I did not birth two children, graduate from high school on time, even though I got pregnant in high school, graduated college. I did not do all that for this and to die here. And then somebody's going to put a needle in my arm, even though everyone knows I don't shoot up. Someone's going to stick a needle in my arm and tell them I overdosed. I mean, I literally thought that. Like, I thought I was going to die. That was it. Like, I did not think that I was going to live through that. And so, yeah, that'll make you that'll make you cling to God, really, really, because I don't even know how I made it out. I don't know how I made it out.
Hey,
I
Sonia.
didn't realize I was in danger as like that either.
So Robert Lowe says so many people with problems from childhood, so broken, so sad. What do you think about that?
Nobody gets out of childhood unscathed. Even if you had good parents, I don't think you do.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah, and so I mean, like, I don't really hear a lot of people. So it's not really like I just think that we should always consider that we're all a product of our environment, and even if you definitely shouldn't use an excuse, but it's a reason though. If you recognize why something happened to you, then you're definitely going to be more able to resolve it and get through it. And I think that I definitely had a lot, like pushed back a lot of things that were unresolved. That I'm, being alone this, August 14th, it'll be a year that I left, and I've come so far. I've come so far. It seems like a lifetime ago. Like it seems like it was so long ago, and it really
Hmm.
was. It was literally so not that long ago. But I'm really glad that I'm here, and I have absolutely no reason to be angry or sad or any of it. It was what it was, and I'm really just glad that I made it out. With
Son-
a little bit of sanity left.
Sonia.
Yeah,
You seem very
So
sane to me.
yeah,
so
I am very good.
so from all the people that go to Slab City or that have visited Slab City, what's the percentage of those people that you think that had rough childhoods? Because it does make a difference whether you
I
had
think
one mother.
world
And
in Slab City. Honestly, I don't think that. I don't think that people in Slab City. It's just that people in Slab City are allowed to do whatever they're doing, and they don't have to hide it. They don't have to like pretend to be sane or whatever. I mean, I don't think people are any saner here. Like any, I think that everyone is the same. I don't think that slabbers are any different. They're just really high. Not all.
They're just really high. Oh man.
I mean, I don't think that. I don't think that slabbers are. The worse or better than anyone. They're just people. I'm just, like, I don't know. I just, hold on, I'm going to my room. It's getting dark outside. The mosquitoes coming. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
okay, let me go ahead and
Anyway,
okay, she's back.
yeah, I was just like going to my room because the mosquitoes are getting bad outside. No, there's there's also a lot of crime there too,
Yeah, there
but
is. I got I got that gist when I was there too. I'm like, oh my god.
at its finest.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a lot of broken people there, but I think everybody is broken or has been broken in some way, and everybody uh, addresses that differently. You can either heal from it or you can let it
But that,
destroy you.
You can
but
make it
that's why
let it
but
make you a
that
monster.
I mean,
Right.
but but
And win.
in reality, there is a connection between the way that you grow up and one's mental stability as a grown up.
But
Uh,
if you ask everyone, the slabs, they all come from different, com- completely different.
backgrounds.
They're all from different places. They're all and then you have people like Steve. I asked him like what happened in your childhood to make you this way, and he has wonderful parents. They're still together, and he literally told me verbatim. His words were, "Nothing happened to me. I'm just a piece of shit."
Wow,
So I mean, I think you've got a lot
that
of different psychiatric problems.
that's interesting. That is interesting because well, at the end of the day, you could do everything right with your child, and at the end of the day, when that kid grows up, he has a mind of his own. He could do whatever he wants to. So, like, like you said, if somebody wants to be, if somebody wants to grow up and do whatever they want to do, break laws and live in a rebellious way, then
Hmm.
there's nothing really anybody could do about it.
No,
But I
and like
but
as
I
long as
think.
at the end of the day, if you're not hurting and harming anybody but yourself, nobody really can say anything. But like if I want to go live in the woods and my tent and live off the land, and I'm not robbing anybody and harming anybody, then nobody should say shit about it, or
Right.
or I'm just not going to apologize to anyone about it, and I'm going to be who I am, and that's just the way that's just the way it's going to be.
Let's see. Mr. Crichton says there isn't much mental health help in the slabs, huh?
No, there's not help when you need to go to when you need. No, there's not any help there. It's not like that.
Okay, so Sonia, let me ask you a question. Since you lived there for 5 years,
Mhm.
is there any government program could be that could be created to help people that go to or women that go to Slab City, or men too, but
So
in
there was
general, in general.
there, and I'm not going to say her name because she deserves, but she was one of the worst case that what you didn't think was going to be a success story. They can go, any of them can go to rehab, and some of them do.
Right.
And what happens is the rehab there, I believe, for free, is 30 days, and then they get out after 30 days and go back to the slabs, and that's not probably, if for a person trying to be sober, and they go to rehab and they shouldn't go back there. Imperial County is the poorest county in California, definitely, and there's not. I mean, there's the food box every month. The Chamber of Commerce gives. There's a program that was coming in and giving showers. They had the portable showers. Do you remember that? And they were like helping people get their IDs.
No, I don't. I never got to see that.
Okay, well they were there, and they used to come once a month, and I think that their funding got cut. And there are, and then there's Ernie's and things like that. So I'm not going to say that there aren't people that go out there and help, because I mean, really, there's a lot of people that go out there and help slabbers, and because any person, I don't care what addiction they have or how bad of a person they are or whatever, they can at any moment change their life and get sober and do something with their life. So I don't believe in just throwing humans away like that, and so I do support, people, going in there and offering things, because if people have other options.
You know what the interesting aspect of this conversation is? The one that we're having right now about helping people in need is that okay? Then so there's this whole negative perception of capitalism, right? Of Babylon and stuff, but in reality, it's the people with money that are able to help. It's those capitalists that are able to help. I find that kind of interesting.
Rich people, billionaires aren't the people that are helping it. The people that I can say are like
there's
that have money, who come out there and still make a.
Anybody that is able to go out there. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know how many. If what I do know is that there's a lot of people with a lot of money that are charitable. But
Certain organizations, I think, and certain individuals maybe, but I don't think it's the majority of wealthy people. I don't think.
Because another thing is that
wealthy people are, I mean, coming from that upbringing, I can tell you that, my parents taught me to be racist, and they also taught me to look down on others. It's just something that I didn't, unlearn's a thing too.
But not everybody's, but not everybody's taught that same way.
I wasn't taught any of the ways that I am. I was taught to be a lot different than I am.
I mean, because at the end of the day, there's evil people in every aspect of culture, of different cultures. Like in Slab City, there's gonna be if you go to a church, there's gonna be good people and bad people. If you go anywhere, there's gonna be good people and bad people. So not because somebody's evil means that everybody is
That's
evil.
absolutely true. Yeah. I mean, my problem with Babylon has really nothing to do with, because you know what the problem with capitalism is? Greed. The problem with socialism, greed. I mean, I mean, I just feel like as a whole human race, we're doing it wrong because we're killing the planet. Not, I mean, as far as like Babylon, not Babylon, like I'm just kind of completely removed from it. Like I don't even care. I don't care about politics. I think that it's all just a big pile of shit, really.
Right. So, have you seen those? Have you seen the places where they get the lithium for the batteries that is supposed to help the green movement, that is supposed to help the earth? Right. Those places are filthy. There's child labor. People are dying in those. It's just like what I'm saying is that it's every argument, there's like a flip side to it. Like, for example, like you said, like killing the planet. Okay, well, there's politicians or even individuals, citizens that have that idea, right, of saving the planet. But then the way that we go about it, with electric, like making everything electric. Okay, well, how we get those batteries, that's have you seen that? It's an
Um,
it's pretty awful.
But you know what moves that, dude?
What?
Capitalism.
Right. So okay. So
So it all goes back to the
it all
same
go. It
thing,
all goes
right?
back. It's so.
well, I mean, that's what I say. Like, why are we taking things, we're taking things that are inside the earth out
Yeah.
instead of using things that are already like. I just don't. It's not like because people. It's the way that we went about because we don't need we definitely didn't do things efficiently.
I've come to the realization that a lot of these movements are created. They're created by elites. They're created to have us fighting with each other, to have to have our minds occupied with things that it's like Johnny said, it
Sure,
all goes back to capitalism. So you have the
for
so
sure.
it so so what are we, it's at at the end of the day, everything is moved. Everything, in my opinion, everything is controlled, by powerful people that want to have us arguing and fighting over things
Well, yeah, it's a class war. It's not really a race war because they just basically like I mean the media wants to make you believe there's this it's all about race and yes there's racism in the world and it goes every which way, but you know together we stand, divided we fall. So it's like divide and conquer and I believe on the grand. I mean 1% of the world, the 1% of the population controls everything. So
That's what they
it
say.
really.
Well, when I see videos of these mansions people have in Dubai, they're like $200 million mansions, and I'm like blown away because it's like certain people. I mean, you can't change your luck. You know what I mean?
bro,
I
that
was
means that we have
born
to move to
with
Dubai, man.
what's
We gotta
that?
go to
I'm
Gotta
not
go to
moving.
Dubai.
yeah, that
I
means that we gotta
wish,
go to
man.
Dubai.
I wish. I wish.
I don't know
But I
if I
mean,
should move to Dubai as a female. I don't know. Be another lesson.
what's that?
I said I don't know as a female if I should move to Dubai. It could just be another lesson. You know.
Yeah.
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 With my, but I know it's in the Middle East, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
mean, but it's like this country's super, super wealthy. They drive nothing but like
I've got pictures of it.
monster cars and these crazy mansions, and it's just
Yeah.
like mind blowing. And the way you look at, I mean, I didn't grow up anything like that, and these people, they have, um, that luck to have been born there. I guess that this country, as soon as you're 18, they start giving you money just for being a citizen, is what I've heard.
Where?
Dubai.
Really? What?
Yeah, yeah. So as soon as you're 18, the government starts handing you bread, and you.
But what's the happiest country? Like they have like a whole list of that. I think it's like Amsterdam
I
or
don't know.
something.
I'm not sure exactly what the most.
Well, we
Is
could
it
Google it right
Amsterdam?
now. Most
We're not
happiest country.
we're not the first. Like we're not.
It says
You
Finland. Finland has been the happiest country in the world since 2016.
Is that
The,
right?
the World Happiness Report released its annual ranking of the happiest countries in the world,
I
They're
and
wonder
for
how
the
they rate that though.
and for the sixth year in and for the sixth year in a row, Finland has landed at the top spot. So there
I
you go,
wonder how they
Finland.
rate that though. Like, do they go around asking people how happy they are? Like, is that how their census goes?
I think that they are. I think who's top in healthcare? Like they get time off. Like we think we're so much freer, but like we work more than anybody.
And we
I
pay
think
high
everything though.
taxes.
Everything's about balance. Anything, if you take any opinion, anything, and even if it's a positive like anything taken too far out of balance it gets messes up the balance.
Okay, so the article continues to say the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, the organization behind the report, uses 6 key factors to help rank more than 150 countries based on their average life evaluations between 2020 and 2022: social support, income, health, freedom, generosity, absence of corruption. Using these
Yeah.
factors, the report examines the happiness gap between the top and bottom halves of the population in each country ranked. This gap is small in countries where almost everyone is very unhappy, and in the top countries where almost no one is unhappy, the report states. Hold on, this gap is small in countries where almost everyone is very unhappy, and in the top countries where almost no one is unhappy. Okay, I think it's kind of like.
Well, how
How could you measure that though? Like, how could you measure if
you can't.
whether?
You could just ask people. That's
I
a
mean,
country full of liars.
right? Exactly. Like, how do you know who's
No,
telling the truth? How do you know
I,
who's telling the
know.
truth?
I would be able to tell.
You know,
I mean, you could tell if somebody's lying.
I
Like
think I think a key indicator of whether somebody is happy or not is by how they treat others. I mean, if somebody is trying to tear other people down, making things up, trying to manipulate, you know, always talking smack about others, I think that's a key indicator that that individual is really unhappy.
right. Yeah,
You know,
boring people talk about other people.
right?
As far as
Bitter, unhappy people.
yeah. Well, I mean, uh, really, at the end of the day, you can say that there's definitely a lot of unhappy people in Slab City. I mean, like I definitely tried to be happy there, but eventually, what is it my mom used to say? Like, if you lay with dogs, you're going to get fleas.
Yeah. Wow. That's. I mean, I think that's obvious.
Yeah. So,
Personally, I think that at least for me, like for example, being able to have a goal and to work towards something that to me that's fulfilling. Like to
it's absolutely.
strive to do something.
At the end of the day, like, if you're really lucky, then you find, like, I don't want to grow old alone. I definitely don't, but I will before I grow, old with. At this point, like, it'd be fun to grow old with my sister, but like she has a girlfriend, and I get left out a lot. That's cool, but like, not at the cost of my sanity or peace. But if you're lucky enough to find love, like that, like your best friend, then cool. You probably should like maybe try to hold on to it if you're lucky enough to find someone that's not going to abuse you. But other than that, like as long as you're happy, like it doesn't really matter. I mean, so long as you're not, you know, hurting others, like do you and be happy and grow regardless, you know, and be true to yourself, you know, in the end. And if that's moved to Slab City, um, move to Slab City. You know, you don't need to. I mean, if you can, you're strong enough to endure it, you know, which I was for a minute, but like,
I was not,
Wait,
man.
wait, wait, wait. Is Carlos in is Carlos in Finland? No. No, I'm not in Finland. Let's see here. Wait.
oh,
Carlos, what's the temperature in Finland? No, I'm in Mexicali and it's super hot over here. Uh,
yeah, I'm not
yeah,
struggling with the summertime at all, but
yeah,
besides being humid, but like
yeah.
everyone's like, it's so hot. And I'm like, no, it's not. So this is my first my summer not in the Sonoran Desert in a while. But I mean, I had fun times there. You know, like I did have a lot of fun there at certain times till I didn't. That's all. You know.
Okay, check this out. According to that article, which is by the one that I was reading by CNBC.com, it says, according to Frank Martella, a Finnish philosopher and psychology researcher, some of the reasons why people in Finland are so happy is because they don't compare themselves to their neighbors. They don't overlook the
Okay.
benefits of nature and don't break the community circle trust.
Cool. What's the
Yep.
second happiest country in the world? Is it in Europe?
Uh, it's Mexicali.
Yeah, right. I
No,
don't think so. It's too hot there.
the whole thing is that like when you foster an environment, like if you foster an environment for people, you know, because if you're in a big shithole, it's gonna, you know, and you're around a bunch of shit, it's gonna rub off on you. You know, if you're in if you're around positivity, you know, and you're being encouraged to grow, and you're, you know, people encourage your creativity, and people aren't bringing you down, which is not what I was raised in. You know, I was not raised in a very encouraging home. Not to mention it was extremely misogynistic, you know. Um, who knows what I would have been, you know, would have
Okay,
been something totally different,
so
you know, to find that on my own. And that's, I'm just lucky I found it. Like, took me a long time to realize that, like, I'm fucking all I'll ever need on my own home.
okay, so there's wiservoter.com, happiest countries in the world, says Finland is the happiest country in the world. Could you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Finland is the happiest country in the world with a happiness index of 7.82, whatever that means.
Okay.
It is followed closely by Denmark with a happiness index of 7.64. Iceland is the third happiest country in the world. Like, what are you gonna? I mean, what do you do in Iceland? Okay, index of 7.56.
I could definitely
Warm.
move to Iceland if they would have me. That doubt that they would.
Okay, Switzerland and the Netherlands round out the top five with the score of 7.51 and
So they're all in Europe.
I
Yeah.
think that I mean I think that I mean they might be biased towards Europe, you know, like they might hate the United States. I don't know.
Well, you know, like, I don't believe that, you know, that any government, first of all, I hate politics. I hate politics. I don't like politics. I just don't. So you can't tell me that uh, the government isn't corrupt in some way in any country.
Okay, Mr. Crichton says, been married 3 times. I decided to live alone. Give everyone else a break.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Good choice.
When Mr. Crichton says, when I was living in France, they hated me because they thought I was too nice and faking it.
Hmm.
And you know what? I heard that that if I don't know if it's, I think it's if you're Mexican and you go to France,
Mm-hmm.
Like they treat you like shit, or if
No,
you're
no, no,
or you're American and you go to
no,
France,
no,
they
no.
treat you like shit.
They take Americans in France. They definitely
Yeah,
don't. It's a
yeah.
thing.
So if you're Mexican American, you're better off speaking Spanish to them than
Ah,
English.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
because if you come off, speaking English, especially if they hear an American accent,
Yeah.
they're not polite.
Because Americans have a pattern of acting like assholes when they're there,
Mm,
essentially. But I
okay.
mean,
Yes.
Well,
um,
Americans do. So
I
they
worked
act like.
for a company called Pharmalom International. I worked in clinical research for 7 years when I was raising my kid, and so we were in 23 countries. This pharmaceutical research company, and so I met people from everywhere because they would come to the Houston office. And to be honest, did you say people in France thought the guy was too nice? I think people from France, from what I've seen, because I haven't been to France, but the people that I met from France were really snobby and thought they were better than us for no reason. But like, but, you know, but that's literally probably like a handful of people. But they just were kind of like, snooty and really skinny, and but whatever. That's just like my perception now of France until further. But I would go to France, but
I mean,
whatever.
it's probably not everybody, but I also had an experience because I used to work in San Francisco, and there was this couple like speaking French, and I was trying to make some conversation because I was trying to learn French, and I was trying to say, "Hi, how are you? My name is John," just something simple like that, and they like rolled their eyes and they like turned away. Like I was like, "Oh crap!" Like, forgive me for trying.
Right. I went to Montreal for the summer when I was 14. I went to Montreal for the entire summer because my best friend moved back there because she had moved there in 6th grade, and I was like crushed. Anyway, I went to Montreal for the summer, and the kids were mean to me. They
Oh
like didn't speak. They didn't speak English at all. They spoke French, and she had to and they were like making fun of me for being from Texas, and like were like asking me. But she was translating it, but in a smart aleck way. Like if I rode a horse to school, and if there was like tumbleweed everywhere,
oh crap! Oh wow!
it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, let me play a video for you guys real quick.
What is this?
All right.
Black man fishing problems.
Hey, could you guys hear it?
I can barely see it.
Well, this lake is supposedly for residents only.
I can't hear it much.
Thank you for filming. I'm not giving you permission to film. So.
Okay, so what happened? Okay, so what happened? Yeah, because you guys can't really see it or hear it. Okay, so what happened is that there's this black guy fishing in his own neighborhood, right? And this white lady goes up to him and questions him, like what is he doing right there in her neighborhood, and not knowing that like he lives in that neighborhood. It's kind of funny. Like some people get
totally
mad.
missed that, but it's all right.
Was that?
My ADD is kicking in, so I
Okay.
totally missed that. I also can't find my vape. Have you seen it? Thank you. Oh my god, I love that. Presto manifesto. Okay. Okay, now I'm listening. So yeah, we aren't the freest and the happiest. So it's like there's a lot of ignorance.
Okay, so what about North Korea?
What about them?
Yeah, in comparison to North Korea, are we free?
Yes.
Well, okay, so I started laughing. I was thinking about that movie that James Franco and what's his name did, where they go and the president knows they're showing up, so he has like a fake supermarket with all the fake fruit.
Yeah.
but it was plastic.
Yeah.
Think that when you asked me that, that's why I started laughing.
No.
Yeah, I'm free, but
I
ish.
think it's like Tupac, that rapper, legendary rapper, said, you don't have to be in prison to be in jail. You can be in prison all in your head, and you don't necessarily have to be anywhere. And
Yes.
you could
That's
also be
true.
free in jail if you are mentally, if you have that capacity. I know most probably don't because you're in jail,
I'm
but
free in
But we're
every way. It's like right now,
but
I'm
we're
free to
talking about
walk
but I'm
away from
referring
you.
but I'm referring to government tyranny.
oh, I thought you were talking like a mental state of imprisonment.
Well, I mean that's a good. It's a good point too, because a lot of people live in. I mean, okay, if I go out in the street, out to the United States in the street, and I film in public, I have that right. But if I don't understand that, and then somebody comes and tells me to stop filming, and threaten me, and or a cop comes and tells me to stop filming, then I'm gonna feel, then I'm going to be, and then I'm gonna let them, you know, take take away that freedom that I have. So it goes like hand in hand with what you said, because freedom is um it's a bit different, to the way that you put it, but it has to do with your mental understanding of a lot of things. In this case, the law. If you understand
I mean,
that.
if I break the law, I'm not going to be free because they're going to come handcuff me, and that's a lot of
Right.
motivation for me not breaking the law.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So there's besides the law, there's other rules that we can break. Like, for example, disrespect. If I disrespect Johnny, you know, Johnny Hasbrom
But
might
you
might
suffer the consequences, but you're free
right,
to.
right. But so what I'm saying is this, that there's natural laws that we need to abide by. In other words, we can't do anything that we want. We have to abide by the law of respect. And I'm not even talking about respect of the law. I'm talking about respect for each other, because if we break that respect, there might be some consequences, you know?
Well, there's definitely consequences for that, and I mean, karmically,
So
I
then,
mean,
I
the
mean,
whole
so
thing is everyone has the free will to do whatever it is they want. No one ever said you're not free to do what you. It's not going to come. Anything I do, I have to answer for that, whether it be here or somewhere else. I'm free to victimize whomever I want, disrespect whomever I want. However, just like, what do they say in Slab City? Fuck around and find out. If I fuck around, I might find out. You know, but I'm free. I mean, yeah, we should
so
in
this
theory,
okay.
definitely.
So this idea of freedom, because it doesn't really exist. Like, why? Like, what do you mean? I mean,
Are you free?
it does make sense when you compare yourself to. It does make sense when you compare at different governments. For example, North Korea. If you say something over there that again, or Russia, if you say something against the Russian government, they're gonna come get your butt. You know.
We definitely have more freedom than other people. There's some people that live in that live in cages. There's people that don't know what, like, there's, I mean, there are people that aren't free. So I definitely think that as a country, yes, we're freer than a lot, but that doesn't mean um, I mean, I think that we're slaves though, because we are a slave to money. I mean, I
But but we're also slaves to the reality that we have to respect each other.
how
Like,
are we slaves to that? Because I
we're
mean, it's not.
slaves.
I don't feel like I'm being enslaved because I I don't even. I give respect because of the golden rule, which is really fucking easy, which is just treat others how you would like to be treated.
Right, but I think that we're enslaved to that reality, because we want to live in at least the people that want to live in peace. If you want to live in peace, if you want to live in harmony with your neighbor, then you have to follow that rule of respect.
Absolutely. Have
Not
you ever
necessarily,
considered
not in all countries, bro. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm talking about here in the United States.
oh, okay. If we want to talk about this, but not all countries though. Some countries
that?
are very, very different than that.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Everybody wants to be happy, Carlos, and not everybody wants to live in harmony. And some people specifically seek things that are not don't resonate with harmony. Some people do not want to be happy, nor do not everybody seeks
Right.
life. Some
I,
people
I
actively seek.
understand that. I understand that. But if you go against that, that idea, then you're gonna get, you're gonna live in a certain way that, in other words, you're gonna suffer the consequences.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, but anyways.
And
Politics, bro. Politics.
in their own personal prison, but like politics has nothing to do with like how you, I, or whoever, decide to wake up and live their life. If I disrespect, I can be disrespectful. It has nothing to do with politics,
True.
but like the whole thing is I believe that there is definitely
Well, it's not really politics. I'm talking. It's more like
spiritual
I mean, 'cause
warfare thing.
I'm not really talking about politics. It's about politics. It's like, it's realities of life.
Well, I mean, when you say how free are we in the United States and you point to different governments, you're kind of talking about politics.
Well, okay. Well, the reason why I said that is because, people like to mention how, well, or because Sonya mentioned how we're not that free here in the United States.
We're not. It's really the ego mentality, like the whole America mentality, like thinking that we have some type of like right to. I mean, because at our country, like you can talk about individual, people as individuals, I believe are all the same all over the planet. Everyone has pain. Nobody's immune from it. Everyone has insecure. I mean, we're all the same. And I think that we try so hard. But it's
Well,
when we
that's what I mentioned.
talk about government, but people are given like I am as a person, as an individual person, am very lucky, and I am so provided for, and I have absolutely no reason to wake up. I mean, every fucking breath you take is a gift for sure. I'm 100%, and that's the same. I'm not better, and I'm not below anyone from any country, or, and they're everybody's circumstances, everybody as an individual on this planet, their circumstances are affected by their government.
Right,
But I think as individuals, if you were to look at them individually, those people we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all. I just don't. I believe as far as like me personally suffering from my government. No, I really can't say that.
But we have more privilege over. But
we have work. We have work, but if you look at that, like, though, then you look at the whole like, overconsumption, the overconsumption and that and the greed, like, a really simple example, like of a difference that I observed is there was a girl from Germany visiting my office. We were working on a global study together and a clinical trial. And she came over for training, and it was Valentine's Day here whenever, and it was Houston, but it was Valentine's Day. And she came back giggling when she came back from lunch because she went to a Walmart to get something. And she absolutely could not believe the heart socks, the heart shirts, the way the grandiosity of of Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, y'all don't celebrate Valentine's Day in Germany? And she's like, yeah, we do, but it's not like, because all the girls from the office were like getting flowers from their boyfriends and like, oh, God forbid, you don't give me flowers sent to my office. And just the whole big deal we made of it. when she said it's like something that's more of a personal thing in Germany, where they just maybe when she goes home, her significant other would maybe give her flowers, sure, but they don't over commercialize everything like we do. We over commercialize everything and put
Right.
importance on things like and that's when I kind of went, yeah, that's right. We do that, like just the
Yeah.
overconsumption, and
That's
then after I lived in Slab City, let me tell you, the wardrobe that I had in Slab City, I could not afford when I made $65,000 a year, because I had, and this was shit that I got out of free piles that came in truckloads. I'm talking, I had Victoria's Secret fucking lingerie, pulled the tags off of it. I had a $200 Armani sweater. This was shit. And me and Caroline actually, and me and they called her Betty Boop. Dadgummit. We used to play out in that desert wearing Calvin Klein prom dresses and this is shit. And so because I've had the other perspective of it, just like the overconsumption, and it's definitely, I would definitely say it's mostly females, because men didn't have the clothing options that we had. But out of free piles, I literally had nothing but name brand. Just like
wow.
I had a gorgeous wardrobe when I was in the slab. Yeah, and I used to joke around about it, because I'm like, dude, we make this homeless shit look good, because we did, and it was all free.
That's incredible.
So that's part of the allure too, because it's just like some of it. Because there were times where I would wake up and I'd be like, I can't believe we're getting away with this shit. Because in somewhere in my mind, I think it might be a social experiment, because go anywhere else and start building a pallet house and see how long it takes them to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
No time at all. They're going to be like, leave. So, I never looked at it and thought like, oh God, it's, because some people, a lot of people have a lot of different theories, because it's multifaceted. You've got Salvation Mountain, and then, you could be sitting in your trailer, and at any random moment, your trailer starts shaking because there's a tremors, because you're on the San Andreas Fault,
Right.
or the military's bombing some shit in the background,
Yeah.
And then there's a monsoon in the middle of summer one time, and I was like, oh, I thought monsoon season was just the winter time. It's so crazy, it's a crazy environment, and then you've got the social aspect of it. So it's multifaceted, and it's surreal when you go there. If you ever try to describe that place to someone who's never been there, or especially never heard of it, they're just like, can't conceive of it, because it's that weird. It's that off.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Hey,
just
Sonya, let me ask you a question, Sonya.
what?
Okay, so I've seen on Facebook several times, and not only on Facebook but on YouTube videos, some people not asking, they're like demanding money. They say, "F you, give me your money." Like, what do you think about that? Did you ever
Hey,
say that? Would you ever do that?
I would say that. Nobody owes you. No, I would never say that.
Did you ever hear anybody say that?
Yeah, fuck you, pay me. It's like an expression, but it's a little bit.
Cause I'm like, wait a minute, I was about to pull out my wallet before I heard that shit. You know what I mean? And then I hear F what? F you. You know what I mean? It's like, what the heck? I mean, I'm over here busting my ass off, and I'm about to kindly pull out my wallet, and then I hear F you pay me. What the heck, man? Get out of here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not meant in that way, really. It's like, just like a lot of it's more like rebellion against, it's a rebellion against like being a slave to money. But it's also like what people don't realize is that, and there's like recently somebody on the Slab City Facebook page was complaining about non-slabbers being on that page. But like what people have to realize, like what if you're in the slabs, like you've got people who've been snowbirds that come there for the winter and bring resources to that place
Right,
all year
exactly.
round. So even when I was a slabber, I still recognized and loved people that weren't slabbers. I was never
Right,
that indoctrinated to that degree where I was
right,
just like, oh, fuck you, pay me, because like I still at any moment, like, was very happy when summer ended and new faces started coming in. It's like, thank God, because like, you've been watching everybody's
so
fucking sanity unravel all summer long, and then not now it's like, oh, normal people. Oh, my friends are here. People that give a shit
so
about me are here.
hey Johnny, are you gonna log off or what?
Yeah, I gotta log off. I gotta go get myself some dinner and then clean a couple things here. But
You.
Sonia, it was amazing. Thank you for sharing the story and thank you for having me.
Thank
Hey,
you.
hey Johnny, but you don't have any furniture to clean.
No, well, but I still have things to clean, bro. The furniture I'm working on, but yeah, I gotta clean all kinds of different things
The
around.
freedom to choose.
What's that?
He has the freedom to choose.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Yeah.
right, well, I'm gonna log off too. I think 2 hours is an
Yeah.
hour and 55 minutes. But we could do this again. I mean, I have some other questions to
But
ask
you
you.
can't get
But
packing to move to Texas and get the F out of there.
you think so?
Yeah, it's
um,
time for. Hey, the road goes both ways, and you can always go back if you don't like it. Don't
yeah.
ever be afraid to try it.
Well, I might do
Sure.
that.
Yeah, you should. All right. Talk to you
uh,
later.
all right, Sonia. Thanks for coming on, and let's do it again.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.